For the video today, we will be learning how to make a multiplication flower. This ties into art and mathematics from our chapter reading. I think this is a great activity for students to focus, one, on art in terms of proportions, understanding how colors can make our work pop, and honestly, just how we can be creative, and to show them that one flower, one piece of artwork can be different from their classmates. And I think this works well with mathematics because third and fourth graders typically are focusing on multiplication facts. And I feel like this is a great way and a great practice for them to work on their facts, and hopefully they are able to memorize them a little bit better. I also really like this activity because I feel like it teaches students that math can be fun and they are able to use art to showcase their math skills. And I think that is something that's really important and that the students will really like. Okay, for class today, we will be making multiplication flowers. So as you see here, I have some construction paper, I have scissors, I'm going to have a glue stick, and you want to find a bold colored marker and a pencil of some sort, and also crayons, colored pencils, anything that you can use to color with for your flower. And lastly, you need your facts sheet. For this step here, you're going to want to go ahead and choose 2 pieces of paper, preferably different colors, so that you are able to have boldness for your flower and draw the attention of others. So while you pick these, you want to go ahead and start making your petals. So for our flowers, we're going to have 2 different rows of petals, which is why it's preferred to have 2 different colors of paper. Once you begin, you want to start making your petals, and something that you want to pay attention to is making sure that your petals are all proportional to each other. After that step, you are going to cut out your petals individually. You should have a total of 10 petals drawn and cut out. And once you finish this step, go ahead and wait for a teacher's approval to continue. After you are done cutting out your petals, you want to go ahead and just make sure that you have the right amount of number of petals. You should have 20 total, 10 being on the first row and another 10 being on the second row. Another thing you can see me doing here is taking some petals and cutting them down. This is me just making sure that they are proportional to each other and what will give me the best looking flower. My next step here is just tracing out a circle, and I decided to use yellow, and this is going to be my center and the multiplication number that I chose, which is 7. So I drew a 7 in the center, and now I am just cutting it out. My next step is making my stem, and I am using a green colored piece of paper, and the stem can honestly be any stem you want to draw. There's no specifics for this, I guess just whatever your heart desires. This next step requires taking your fact sheet, and once again, I am doing 7s here, And what you want to do is now copy your numbers to the petals. So pick out which one's going to be your first row of petals and which will be your second. So it looks like I chose the light purple for my first row. So that means I will be writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 on those petals. For my second row of petals, it will be the answer to the multiplication question that we are making around our flowers. For example, I will be writing a 7 on one of these petals to get the equation 7 times 1 equals 7, which you will see here in a second. The next step that I am doing is pairing the multiplication equation together. How you will do this is you will take the first row petal, apply glue to the top of it, as I am showing you here, and then you stick the answer to that petal. So it should look like a 1 and a 7 on top. And you will repeat this process for all of the equations that you have created. Once you have finished applying all of those petals together, you are now going to assemble your flower. So you want to start by flipping over the yellow center and applying the stem to the back of it. Along with that, you want to apply some more glue and put on your petals. This part is honestly kind of trial and error, and it's personally just however you want to assemble your flower. By this, I mean if you want them closer together, farther apart, anything. For my final steps here, I went ahead and just added some coloring detail and just did whatever I wanted for my flower. This is how your finished product should look. We just went ahead and attached the flower to a white